Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Sam here in Nairobi. And last week I gave you two choices: employment by contract or permanent and pensionable. But before I get there, let me just share something small on the trap of the middle class, and you'll see how these two link. So my experience with either employment or contract, I've done both of them, and I told you today I will share with you my preference as at now. And thank you for those who have subscribed. Thank you for those who have commented. I saw your comments. Some of you prefer employment, some of you prefer contract by pension, others. So I started off with pensionable employee, permanent and pensionable, but the job security was there, but the growth in terms of my income was very limited because it was very slow. And then I transitioned to contract, and the challenge of contract was you're not sure if you'll get contract the following year. So a number of things based on your performance. You may perform well, but you are not needed next year. So it depends with the budget, the contract. But the good thing with the contract is you are able to plan yourself. I believe it's Risto who said because you know you are living for this year, you take a pay cut, sort of. So you live on 6 months, and then the following 6 months pay you leave it for next year. So that helps you build a savings investment culture, because you know this contract can end anytime. But with the permanent and pensionable, until you are 65, you retire voluntary or you're fired, which is very unlikely. So that's for me. I lean more on the contract. Maybe that's why I am right now, where I know I have this job for 1 year. Based on my performance, based on the availability of funds, I may get it next year. But just in case I don't get it next year, how can I live on less than I make now, so that if I don't get next year, at least I have something to survive on? And how you build wealth, it's easier. It's not easier. It is you are under pressure to build a sustainable income if you are under contract. Does that make sense? Now, here is the trap of the middle class. I think the middle class here in Kenya starts from 40,000. That's around $380, all the way to 250,000. That's around $2,100. So that's the middle class. It can be lower middle class or upper middle class. So for most of you who are watching are in the middle class, in between. And we all start with the lower middle class through employment. But if you do your research, the guys in the upper middle class are either they are old and they've been employed for a long time, so they have had an opportunity to build wealth. But for those who are young, they are not on the typical employment we know right now. So building wealth, in my view, it's harder when you are permanent and pensionable, especially if you are young. If you are permanent and pensionable and you are in your 50s, 60s, you are looking for the golden handshake. You have built some wealth, but as you are growing up, when you are young, it will take a long time for you to build wealth than doing the contract way. Do a short contract here, it does not go through, you go to another short contract, and that builds discipline. And that's the trap. That's the trap of the middle class, because you are trading your time and energy for the paycheck. And then when you get the paycheck, and this is the characteristics of the middle class here in Nairobi, get a paycheck. If you are permanent and employed, you are told by the bank that you need a loan. Either you get an investment loan or a consumer loan. In either case, it's still a loan. So let's say you get a consumer loan. So you get a car loan, a car that you cannot afford. So you get a loan for it. And worst of all, you get a mortgage and you get a credit card. Now you are stuck. It is hard for you to leave that job because you have a mortgage. You cannot go into contract-based employment because the bank wants stability. They want to know that you are employed for a longer term. So it's harder to get a loan if you are on contract, which is easier to build wealth. But if you're on permanent, it's easier to get a loan, and the bank can tie you for 5 years to 25 years if you take a mortgage. So if you have not taken a mortgage, it's not a good idea. Don't take a mortgage. If you're in a mortgage, do as much as you can. Take side hustles here and there to clear that mortgage, or else you'll be stuck with the trap of the middle class, which are loans and a flashy lifestyle. And you are one salary away from going into poverty. Maybe if you lose your job, maybe if you become sick, like me, the way I became sick, just like this. So think about where you are right now. Is permanent working for you? Do you think you can do much better, get into the financial freedom faster? And let me know what you think. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong, and this does not make sense. But in any way, give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe and tell me where I am wrong, and I'm ready to listen. So that's me. We are coming to the end of the month. I hope your goals are still there, financial goals. Bye bye, take care, and God bless, and see you on Monday as we start the week together. I think it will be the new month together. Bye bye, take care, God bless.